Welcome back to the Hull Arena where the 2011 Winmau World Masters Darts Championship is underway. Next match is about to get going. Over to Martin Fitzmaurice.
Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, let's play darts. Please welcome England's Stephen Bunting. From Wales, please welcome Peter Johns.
So one of the most popular and most recognisable faces on the BDO circuit, Stephen Bunting, gets us underway. And awaiting him a clash against Robbie Green, which, let's be kind, Tony, could be the biggest clash of the next round. Standing in their way, Peter Johns of Gwent.
To be honest with you, I can't remember much about Johns. But of course, he's here. He's on the stage, so obviously the talent's there. Stephen, I've known since, as I say, a school kid. And he's been brilliant throughout. Went out to Singapore with the BDO as the youth champion. Brought it back, the trophy. So, he's good. Very good.
He certainly is. Which Stephen Bunting do we see tonight, though?
First set, first leg, it's Stephen to throw first. Game on.
Because when he's on song, Stephen Bunting, as he is straight into that treble 20 bed, he is one of the most exciting players to watch. Tony, I don't know how much you remember the Scott Waite's demolition job that Bunting did on him at the Lakeside this year, but he was absolutely fabulous that night. He's got it in him, he really has.
Yeah, he's got the speed of play, he doesn't worry about anything. He's got good support. He knows when he's blocked from the bud as well, which a lot of players don't realise.
This man, Peter Johns, been playing for Wales since 1995. And I think most of his achievements have come with Wales rather than for himself. He's tried to qualify for the Masters a few times. He's tried to qualify for the Lakeside a few times, but he's never made it to these stages before. And it was a cracking victory, first against Paul Hanvidge in his group, the Scotland international, and then against Tony O'Shea, that got Johns through to this stage. A match, I think Tony O'Shea will think, I should have won that. I let him off, and I failed to take my chances. But fair play to Peter for sticking with it and never giving up. It was a really impressive display on the floor.
140.
Well, there's one thing about this, he's a very slow player, and that isn't going to suit Stephen. He likes to get up there and get on with it.
100.
So it could be off-putting, but as I said, he's learnt a lot since he was a youngster.
sure Stephen's played a fair few slower players in his time. I just worry with these darts. They don't seem to be sticking in. Peter John's darts, just with a naked eye, they're quite in the way that you would want to. Maybe it's just a bit of spring in the stems. I'm not quite sure.
No, they look good.
Bunting's fine. Peter John's darts as they go into the board.
Take a good look. Yeah. With that.
I think they might just be spring-loaded. That might be the trouble.
60.
25 gram, 24 gram, I should say, Red Dragon darts that he uses. Oh, it's Bunting with a bounce-out problem.
34.
Yeah, they had a shot at
138.
double 16, but he'll be ruined now if this goes in. 138. What now? Yeah, a bit nervous.
41. Stephen, you require 32.
So 15.5 grams of tungsten flying through the air. There you go. Steve Bunting takes the first leg.
Stephen Bunting.
As I'm sure you would have expected.
Second leg
Started with the
is
throw.
Peter to throw first. Game on.
See what he can do with his throw.
Sneaks one in there to complete the ton. It's a great recovery.
Yeah,
Stevie Bunting.
Peter Johns, David, comes from Cumbrae, where Richie Burnett came from. Former champion, Richie.
And still the Prince.
Yeah. Great player. In fact, I think he won the title twice.
60.
He did. Cracking player. Richie Burnett. Of course, winner of the Masters in 1994 as well. But he would never, ever go out of the house dressed like that, Tony. I can guarantee it. Neither, I'm sure, would you.
I just want to see what his shoes are like.
140.
Interestingly, Stevie Bunting switching down to 19s there.
59.
Quite sure why he felt the need to do that at that stage. It's not really working for him, I suppose, in this leg.
$121.
Good leg here for Johns.
100.
He went through a patch against Tony O'Shea
80.
in his board final where he just wouldn't stop hitting treble 20s. A beautiful purple patch. Now, I don't think we're seeing all of that so far. 25 will leave him the bullseye. Made it harder for himself, but that'll do
Game
nicely.
shot, and the second leg, Peter Johns. Third leg, it's Stephen to throw first. Game on.
Something to think about, is Peter.
Well, the worst thing that Stephen Bunting can do is say
60.
to himself, right, I'm not playing Tony O'Shea, I'm playing, well, who's that? Peter Johns from Gwen. Yeah, he's all right on the international stage, but he's not going to have a chance against me, and then mentally throw it away before he starts. I'm sure he's not going to do that. You've seen players kind of switch off because they think they're playing a lesser opponent.
100.
Well, I certainly don't think Stephen's thinking that way, because any player that's got to this stage is dangerous.
100.
Painter and decorator from Cumbrae trying to put a gloss on the evening's proceedings. Given that he has won a leg, he's not going to get the brush.
41.
Big Tom Jones fan as well, so he keeps it all in Wales.
96.
Not a man that is going to be rushed in any way, shape or form.
No, it's not,
Peter?
but, that was a good throw. And so was that, because he's on a finish now. Good Shanghai on 20s.
Kind of worked out all right, but he's not overly happy with his game, I don't think. Steve Bunting, just looking at his facial expression there, and I think you're quite right, Tony. I'm sure he would like a little bit more pace to be coming from his opponent here.
87. Stephen, you require 120.
It's a Shanghai. Markers there. Oh, just a fraction.
50. Peter, you require 152.
Two treble 20s, double 16 for Peter.
Stephen, you require 70.
So treble 18, double 8, single 12, leaves 18 for tops. It's not the way he thought about going, but it'll win in the set. That'll do nicely.
Stephen Bunting.
Stevie Bunting, almost giving it to Eric Clarice there, isn't he? The old sharpshooter.
Game on.
The sheriff.
Mr. Confused, I tell you what. Eric Clarice. Referees, commentators and cameramen scurrying through a quiet, darkened room.
43.
Nightmare.
Twitter news, Tony. Dean Winstanley tells me now
100.
that he's got 80 followers on Twitter. We've given him 60 more followers with one mention of over the top 180. We can get it to 100 by the end of the night. He owes us a beer.
Stop drinking.
100.
Tonic water.
Sounds good.
$57.
Smiling faces there.
Well, not on the one with a beard. Stephen Bunting Senior. Not got much to smile about at the moment, even though his son is a set up. His match still very much in the balance.
140.
There's a lot of faith in Stephen. So there's a lot of the players from Merseyside. I think he's played
81.
Played for Lancashire. Stephen Bunting.
Has he moved to Lancashire now?
So he tells me.
Oh dear. My old team. Enjoy himself there.
60.
He was playing for Cheshire.
He was.
Oh, right,
Plays for the General Arms as well, does Stevie.
158.
So, Peter Johns with a chance at 158. I don't think his slow, deliberate style is necessarily helping him out at the moment. That face pretty rock solid, pretty emotionless.
82.
Stephen's ready to move into the hockey now. The big finish, two treble 20s.
105.
He
Peter requires 76.
sped up his throw after hitting that first treble 20. I think thinking that, oh, just follow that in. Maybe a little bit more deliberate would have been better for Stephen there. Double 8 now for Peter. Up a bit, fine.
60. Stephen, you require
Can't afford
65.
to miss them ones. So a double top mark is good.
25.
That's for a breaker throw as
You
well.
require 16.
Mr. Bunting Senior knows there was a chance, a golden chance. Still might have an opening because Peter's got to take out this double eight.
Game
And that
shot,
is
and the
much
first
better.
leg. Peter Johns. Second leg
cool.
is Stephen.
He used the barrel well there, didn't he? Just gliding off the first dart.
Yeah, staying cool under a little bit of pressure. That's the way. That's the way you play. You play your game. Very slow, deliberate. Got the rhythm.
140.
He takes this leg. The whole square in sets.
140.
I think we could still be in for quite a long one here. 50-year-old Peter Johns from Gwent against the 26-year-old Stephen Bunting from St Helens. Normally about this time on a Friday night, Bunting's just getting ready to go out.
Well, you know what they say, a Bunting will go.
Bet he looks good on the dance floor. Eh? Bet that looks good on the dance floor. Looks good anywhere.
Unbelievable. Speed of it. The size of the darts. Could have got another 6 darts in there.
$96. Stephen, you require 81.
Winning this leg handsomely. Treble 10 would have left double 16. Simple one's a bit sloppy though. And that's the trouble when you're that far ahead. Sometimes you do just relax too much. You don't stay focused. It's little things like that. You can polish up in your game. Keep that mental concentration going all the time.
96. Stephen, you require 51.
119 would help. Yes, double 16 now. That's the
Game
one.
shot, and the second leg. Stephen Bunting.
Brilliant camera work.
Third leg is Peter to throw
I think that's
first.
Kyla, his
Game
girlfriend,
on.
shouting out as well. Now he's got to win one against the throw. Could have won one against the throw in the first leg here, Stephen Bunting.
58.
There's the opening for him if he wants to step in. Oh, unlucky.
Yes, could have been.
80.
Could have been 140 that, Tony, I think.
Yeah. Nick Rawls, the referee for this match.
Just getting out of the way of the bounce out. I don't know if it scuffed his shoe leather or not.
92.
Become a very competent referee, this Nick.
60.
He's outstanding ref, is our Nick. Pretty unflappable. That's unlucky, wicked deflection on that last dart.
First time he came on, if I remember rightly, he did a
96.
call for John Boy, a 9-dart finish.
Oh, Nick Rolls,
Yeah,
the World Masters.
that was it.
Still the only man to hit a 9-darter in the televised stages of the World Masters, John Boy Walton.
44.
A couple of years ago, it was the year that John Boy, I think, hit 3 9-darters in the course of 12 months. Didn't throw much else in between, but he did it 3 9-darters.
133.
Yeah, he really is what I determine as a steady player who never flusters, just keeps at the same pace. In fact, sometimes he's asleep when he's throwing.
Well, we'll see, John Boy Walton.
100. Stephen, you require 132.
Saturday on ESPN, will we see Stephen Bunting? Needed a treble 20 there to
64.
Keep that check out going, but now here's
84.
Peter Johns with a chance to get his first set on the board. Opportunity still there. Single 14 will leave the bullseye. It's only just in, but it's good enough. Bullseye for him now. Way off.
45.
At this level, way off.
Stephen, you require 68.
Okay, Stephen. Treble 20. Oh, 15. Double 18. I was going to say take your time, but it's already there.
Stephen Bunting.
2 sets up, 2 sets to love. Stephen Bunting. His dad's pleased, isn't he?
And there's a couple of times there.
First leg, it's
Steve Bunting has thrown a loose dart with his first dart. When he's been going for a check out, he's recovered well, he's taken it out as well. It's a sure sign that he's in form, he fancies his chances, he's got confidence there, and he's not letting things upset him too much. Yeah, and he has had a decent year as well after the Lakeside runner-up in both the BDO International Open and the Polish Open as well as Darryl Finn mentioned, Tony. He's getting some good points together, but not as many, I'm sure, as he would want.
58.
He's only 2 legs away of pursuing his dream. The WAL title. He's already at the junior one.
The only person to be a youth master and a senior master, Leanne Maddock.
100.
Oh, girls. Leanne. Yeah, number 1. Good player. Very young.
17 years old, I think, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, she was brilliant.
It was both the same year. It was 92. She actually won the women's and the
60.
and the girls at the same year. It was. Do you remember which Welsh lady she beat in the final of the women's Masters? That'll test your knowledge. Sean's mum.
Greatbatch.
Sandra Greatbatch.
Sandra Greatbatch.
I'm sure she was competing this weekend as well.
Oh, she'll have been here, even if she wasn't competing.
Stephen, you require 143.
I don't know what's happened to Sean.
Well, I spoke to Sean recently. He's enjoying
60.
life, not playing quite so much darts. But after winning his own battle against cancer, he's in great form.
Well, that's nice to know.
Stephen, you require 83.
Go further ahead. Easy ball. Oof.
58. Peter, you require 160.
The big one has to get it, I would think. No, not this time. Stephen pacing up and down there behind him. Ready to go in for 25, maybe 9, double 8.
60.
If he keeps pacing up and down like that, he's going to wear a patch in the carpet. He's going to have to watch out. Double 8.
Game shot and the first leg. Stephen Bunting. Second leg, it's Peter to throw first. Game on.
Swift, furious. The play of Bunting.
I mentioned, of course, Tony, that Peter Johns beat Tony O'Shea to get through to this stage. I have news of Tony O'Shea this evening. He was playing Wayne Mardle at the Circus Tavern. And he's just texted me to say that he sadly lost to Wayne in that match, which was on the undercard of a big clash this evening. Martin Adams, the BDO World Champion, against Adrian Lewis, the PDC World Champion. And I have news of the score.
Okay.
Martin Adams has won 13-12.
Oh, that's a good match.
Couldn't have been much closer.
Yeah. Okay.
Martin Adams, #1 seed here at the Masters, has warmed up very nicely for his title defence there with what sounds like a cracking game against Adrian Lewis this evening. Well done to both players on that one. And thank you to Tony O'Shea for keeping me up to date.
Yeah, I think they do a lot of exhibitions together.
Adrian and Martin. Yeah, they have been doing for quite a while, but this was the big clash.
134.
The battle of the two world champions, which I quite like to see every single year, quite frankly. Should be having words with Mr. Adams when he gets to Hull tomorrow. He's got quite a drive up overnight, isn't he?
Yeah, because there's no trains.
100.
Unless he comes first thing tomorrow morning. In the meantime, by the time he gets here, I duly expect Steve Bunting to be in the next round.
Well, he could be on this one. It's a good finish, 1-2-2, and the 8 teams and the bull. He's had no answers to play Bunting.
122.
I don't know the treble will have left 7. I don't think Steve Bunting's brought his A game out tonight. He's not playing as well as I know he can do, but he's doing enough.
72.
And your observation right at the start of this match
156.
that the pace is not right for him, I think is absolutely spot on. He's chomping at the bit, I think, to keep going, but we'll come back now, Tony, for a place against Robbie Green on the big stage tomorrow.
It will be 18. Double 16. Oh, fraction either side.
PT requires 16.
Well, to keep the match alive. Double 8.
And into the wrong bed, which at this time of night in Hull is not what you need at all.
16.
Bunting, double 8. Double 4, no one misses those. Bunting's through!
And the match!
Nod of appreciation from Peter Johns there. Didn't bring his A game to the party either. But it's a decent win that for Stevie Bunting. Warming up nicely for a clash against Robbie Green. I wonder how much further he can go this year, Tony.
Well, that is one to relish, him and Robbie. But as I say, we'll wait and see. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been great. I've enjoyed it, David.
A victory and a place in the last 16 of the Masters to Stephen Bunting. Peter Johns bows out of the tournament. And more darts on the way here on ESPN.